Bentley Residences, Sunny Isles Beach, ocean front. 61 stories. Car elevators to your living room. This is branded living at the highest level. Automotive luxury meets oceanfront prestige. But here's the real question. Does it make sense to pay 65 to 86% more than comparable delivered units are actually selling for just one block away, while tying up capital that could produce nearly $850,000 elsewhere? This isn't a knock on Bentley or the developer. Developers price based on demand. This is a buyer framework to evaluate premium, timing, and opportunity cost. As of December 2025, here's what the data shows. Bentley Residences, Sunny Isles Beach, ocean front. 61 stories, 216 units. This is ultra-luxury branded living. Desert Development, the same team behind Porsche Design Tower, located just one block north. The building features car elevators directly to your unit. Park your collection in your living room. Sky pools, private terraces, and expansive garage space. The developer just closed on a $630 million construction loan, the largest construction loan in South Florida this year. The project is supposedly more than 50% sold, though we can't verify that since contracts aren't public record. Remaining units start at $5.8 million, penthouses $37.5 million. Expected completion 2028. So here's the framework. How do you evaluate whether the premium you're paying today makes sense relative to what's available in delivered buildings? And what's the true cost of committing capital now versus later? Launch pricing in 2021-2022. Archive launch materials show early buyers locking in around $1,500 to $1,900 per square foot depending on unit type and floor. As the market evolved, pricing moved upward. Today, December 2025, current asking prices across the building range from approximately $2,050 to $2,350 per square foot. For example, Unit 1104, a current listing, 2,835 square feet, $5.8 million. That's $2,045 per square foot, and that's on a low floor. Higher floors run up to $2,300 per square foot and beyond. Pricing has moved from roughly $1,500 to $1,900 per square foot early on to approximately $2,050 to $2,350 per square foot today. That tells us how demand and strategy have evolved during construction. Now let's talk about what early buyers experience with their deposits. For example purposes, let's assume an early buyer purchased a unit at $5 million in 2021-2022. First 20%, that's $1 million, paid in 2021-2022. Next 10%, $500,000, paid at groundbreaking in February 2024. That's 30% total, $1.5 million in committed capital waiting for 2028 delivery. Those deposits are committed capital, so your real cost isn't just the purchase price. It's what that capital could have earned elsewhere during the build. Construction progress as of November 2025. Foundation just completed. The tower hasn't reached the 30th floor yet. The next 10% is due at the 30th floor, another 10% at building top-off, and the remaining 50% at closing. Now let me show you what's available in delivered buildings today. I'm using Porsche Design Tower as a benchmark because it's the closest apples-to-apples delivered product. Same developer lineage, similar sky garage concept, same micro-location, delivered 2016, located just one block north. This is the actual MLS data as of December 17th, 2025. There are 32 total units for sale. We focused on the cluster between 1,200 and 1,800 per square foot. 17 units averaging about 1,460 per square foot. The remaining 15 units include a very high price units and some below 1,200. We also have actual closed sales, 8 units sold this year. Now, one of those sales, a $13 million unit, completely skews the data. If we include that outlier, the average is 1,535 per square foot. But when we remove that outlier to see what typical units are actually selling for, the average drops to approximately 1,237 per square foot. So Porsche has a range. Actual closed sales at 1,237, active asking around 1,460. This doesn't mean Bentley should trade at Porsche pricing. It just gives us an anchor. Porsche delivered in 2016. Bentley delivers in 2028. That's a 12-year age difference. For Bentley, the cluster appears to be in the 2,050 to 2,350 per square foot range, similar to how we identified Porsche's cluster. Penthouses and unique configurations could be much higher. That 1104 example at $2,045 per square foot within this cluster. Now, important context, Unit 1104's total area is approximately 5,300 square feet, but only 2,835 square feet is interior. The remaining 2,500 square feet is a 3-car sky garage and balcony terraces. Porsche units typically allocate a smaller percentage to garage and balcony space. For this analysis, we're basing price per square foot on interior square footage only, which is standard practice in the industry. We're not pricing in the exterior balcony or garage space. But it's worth noting, Bentley delivers significantly more exterior and garage space relative to interior than Porsche does. Roughly half of Bentley's total area is exterior garage, compared to 20 to 25% at Porsche. A comprehensive comparison would separately value exterior and interior square footage, since balcony and garage space typically isn't valued at a 1-to-1 ratio with interior space. Does that exterior square footage justify the premium? That's a much more in-depth calculation. For this video, we're keeping it simple, using standard interior-only pricing to help you gauge whether the premium makes sense for your goals. Both are branded buildings. Porsche Design Tower, Bentley Residences. Both are top-tier automotive brands with Sky Garage technology and similar ultra-luxury positioning. The main premium we should apply here is newness, 12 years newer. To be fair, Bentley offers things Porsche can't. Brand new construction, new design language, potentially better systems and efficiency, and the first owner factor. For some buyers, that alone justifies a premium. Market data suggests 10 to 15% premium for a 12-year age difference. Even adding another premium for next generation product, you might justify 20 to 30% total. Using Porsche's range of $1,237 to $1,460 per square foot, a 30% premium puts the benchmark range at approximately $1,600 to $1,900 per square foot. Now here's what this means for Bentley buyers. Early buyers at $1,500 per square foot are paying 21% more than Porsche's actual closed sales average, within the benchmark range. Early buyers at $1,900 per square foot are paying 54% more than actual sales, at the top of the benchmark. Current buyers in the $2,050 to $2,350 per square foot range are paying 66 to 90% more than Porsche's actual closed sales. This sits above the range supported by today's closest delivered comp, based on the assumptions we're using. That gap is a trade-off you're accepting in exchange for newness, branding, and product features. The key question is whether that premium is worth it for your goals and time horizon. This assumes the market stays the same. You can see from this analyst data that 20 to 25% of Porsche is currently on the market, 32 active listings out of 132 total units. Could the same happen to Bentley buyers in 2029 to 2030? In fact, I did a detailed Porsche Design Tower case study. Buyers who purchased in pre-construction and resold within the first few years, most lost money. That analysis is linked below. Now, let me talk about pre-construction considerations. These aren't deal breakers, they're variables you need to price correctly. Developers are charging a premium for pre-construction. And yes, there should be a premium for buying brand new, but the question is, how much? When you buy pre-construction, you're accepting variables that don't exist when you buy delivered. The question is whether the premium you're paying accounts for those variables. Let's talk about one major consideration, square footage variability. This is something I've noticed across pre-construction projects in general, not specific to any one building. Marketing materials show 1 square footage. At delivery, public records typically show less. You paid for space you didn't receive. That value vanished. This happens because pre-construction measurements are often estimated or based on architectural plans that change during construction. Walls shift, common areas get recalculated. The final delivered square footage can be different from what was marketed. So as a buyer, when you're evaluating any pre-construction purchase based on marketed square footage, ask, is that final or could it shrink by 50, 100, or even 300 square feet or more? I've noticed significant percentage reductions in square footage across various pre-construction projects. The impact compounds with every square foot lost. This is why it's critical to understand what you're actually getting at delivery versus what's being marketed today. Other considerations: delivery timeline variability. Construction timelines often shift. HOA fee adjustments. Expect increases for insurance, inflation, and operational expenses between contract and delivery. Market conditions at delivery. You're betting on appreciation that may not materialize. Developer inventory at completion. If you sell shortly after delivery, you could be competing with remaining developer units. These are real variables across the pre-construction space, variables that don't exist when you buy delivered units with known HOA fees and public record square footage. And then there's capital allocation. When you buy pre-construction, your deposits are committed capital. The opportunity cost is what the capital could have earned elsewhere. For example purposes, let's assume a unit purchased at $5 million in 2021-2022. These are estimates based on a 7% return. Use your own figures for what you could achieve in a different investment. I detailed this type of calculation in a separate video using 5% as a more conservative example. Link in the description. The alternative: keep capital invested until Bentley delivers. Reassess based on actual 2028 market condition, not today's assumptions about what 2028 will look like. Porsche has 20 to 25% inventory available. Ritz-Carlton Sunny Isles has less than 5%. Inventory levels vary. The point: availability exists in delivered buildings. You can decide based on actual market conditions rather than assumptions. I've analyzed this pattern before. In my Porsche analysis, buyers who purchased at delivery and resold within 3 years, most lost money. In my Aston Martin Residences study, 25% of the building was on the market 1 year after closings began. As of December 2025, it's 20%. Some sold, others expired, and weren't relisted. The pattern: pre-construction buyers often pay peak pricing. The resale market doesn't always support it. Pre-construction in ultra-luxury requires a framework. The question is, does this allocation make sense for my portfolio, my timeline, and my goals? I'm Brian Oyola, a Miami real estate broker specializing in luxury properties. If you're considering buying or selling in Miami's luxury market and want a framework for evaluating pre-construction versus delivered, reach out. My contact information is in the description below. Because in ultra luxury, smart capital allocation and clear-eyed analysis don't just protect your wealth, they extend your financial span. Thank you for watching. Miami Luxury Decoded.